Well, now an event to raise awareness on Time to Act initiative spearheaded by British Foreign Secretary William Hague was held in Colombo today.
Let's now take a look at some of the views expressed by William Hague.
Sri Lanka is still emerging from 3 decades of conflict that has caused immense suffering, claiming thousands of lives on both sides and displacing hundreds of thousands of people. Since the end of the war in 2009, there has been some progress here in Sri Lanka which we welcome. Civilians have been resettled, infrastructure rebuilt, landmines removed, provincial elections held in the north, and many former Tamil combatants reintegrated back into Sri Lankan society. A region once cut off from the rest of the country and the world is now reconnected to it. But to date, too little has been done to hold people to account for crimes of sexual violence. Too many of the Commonwealth's people have suffered sexual violence in conflict, both in the past and in the present. So let us act now and act clearly and decisively to help maintain this international momentum and do everything possible to ensure that nobody has to suffer the burden, shame and indignity of these crimes in the future, in Sri Lanka or anywhere else in the world.
A group of journalists from Channel 4 who were en route to the northern province were stopped in Anuradhapura owing to a protest carried out by a group.
We are travelling up north because we have been invited by the Sri Lankan government and we have been told that we can travel wherever we want, so we are trying to travel wherever we want. But I have a question for you, which is, the only people who saw us, who know we are on this train, were the intelligence officers who followed us from our hotel. So how did you know that we were on this train? Who told you that we were here? How did you know we were coming? How did you know we were on this train? There must be, why did you all come here? Because the only people who knew that we were on this train were the intelligence officers who followed us from the hotel. And then suddenly you all turn up. So it's an interesting question for us. We want to go to the north and see what is going on in the north. It's our job as journalists.
The Channel 4 team of journalists were also in a heated debate with some of the passengers in the train. I expected that a majority in Sri Lanka would object to it when they arrive in the country. Such a situation had taken place in Anuradhapura. If it had disturbed the peace, it would be our responsibility to take measures on behalf of him and those who protested, and also bring Mr. McQuay carefully back to Colombo without letting him proceed further. That is our responsibility. If something violent took place, then we will stand up against it.
Meanwhile, a group of persons claiming to be family members of missing persons alleged that they were turned back as they attempted to travel from Vaunia to Colombo.
Yes, and the group staged a demonstration in Vaunia following the alleged incident.
The group left Vaunia to attend a human rights festival in Colombo. Our reporter says the group which attempted to travel to Colombo comprised of persons hailing from the Vaunia, Mana, Mullaitivu and Kilinochchi districts. The group of over 400 persons had been travelling in 3 buses and were allegedly turned back in Madhavachia. The group then arrived at the public grounds in Vaunia and staged a demonstration claiming that the right to move freely around the country had been deprived.
We could have gone there today, but you stopped us midway. You say that Sri Lanka has got freedom. Where is this freedom?
A group of provincial councillors and TNA parliamentarian Shivashakti Anandan arrived at the location and met with the demonstrators.
When News First made inquiries, police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana said that the police were not involved in any way in turning back the group from Madhavachia.
Now on to other local news. Speaking at a media briefing held today, UNP parliamentarian Mangala Samaraweera made the following statement.
As the UNP, I propose at this instant that you display the sacrifices that you have made for democracy. Make sacrifices for the Charter of the Commonwealth. I say immediately because we propose that there are 3 main points that we can carry out within a month or 2. an independent police commission, an independent elections commission, an independent judicial commission, an independent public service commission, and an independent bribery and corruption commission must be re-established immediately. The second point is the right to information. If that bill is enacted, then we can be satisfied that the government has accepted one of the fundamental agreements in this charter, which is the freedom of expression.
පිළිගත්තයි කියන එකට අපිට සෑහීමට පත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
Samaravira also commented on an alleged incident that transpired in Madhavakshiya.
පොඩු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලයේ ලේකම් කමලේ ශර්මාගෙන් මම අහනවා.
I wish to ask the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Kamalesh Sharma, if they are attempting to protect the Commonwealth Charter by disrupting the right to travel of innocent mothers.
රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලයේ ප්‍රඥප්තිය ආරක්ෂා කරන්න සූදානම් වෙන්නේ කියලා.
Speaking at a media briefing convened at the headquarters of the Jatika Sevaka Sanghamaya or JSS yesterday, UNP parliamentarian Mangala Samaravira commented on the democracy in Sri Lanka.
However, convening a media briefing today, Deputy Organizer of the JSS, Ananda Palitha, said that former Minister Mangala Samaravira does not have the right to hold media briefings at the JSS headquarters.
It is also notable that journalists from the UK's Channel 4 were present at the media briefing convened at the JSS headquarters yesterday under the patronage of the former Minister Mangala Samaravira.
ලංකාවේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයේ නැත්තම් විදේශ ආයෝජකයෝ අද රටවල් වලට එන්නේ නැහැ.
If there is no democracy in Sri Lanka, then foreign investors will not come here. There are plenty of countries in the world today where foreign investors can go. They even go to countries like Burma at present because there is democracy. If we want to bring investors here, then instead of holding carnivals like this, we must establish democracy, the rights of laborers and human rights, and turn this into a true democratic nation. Then Sri Lanka will receive tenfold the investors and tourists that are coming here now. But we have to remind you at this instance that in order to do this, there must be a change in government in this country.
මංගල සමරවීර කවුද? ජාතික සේවක සංඝය මොකද්ද දරන්නේ? ඔහුට ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී අයිතිය ගැන කතා කරන දින අයිතිය මොකද්ද?
Who is Mangala Samaravira? What position does he hold in the Jatika Sevaka Sanghamaya? What right does he have to speak of democratic rights? Today Mangala Samaravira is trying to destroy the United National Party and has placed a black mark on this trade union movement. He has created a dangerous situation in the workplace. What does Mangala Samaravira know of democracy? I call on Macquarie to please immediately conduct an investigation into the attack carried out in Mathura by Mangala Samaravira's Cinnamon Club Army on the 5th of January. We are not asking you, but telling you because you are here. We do not need the investigations of international affiliates. This is a free state. If Ranil Wickramasinghe had some kind of mandate from the public, then that too was destroyed by Mangala Samaravira and the henchmen in this nominal leadership council. I wish to make a request of Karuja Surya. You are due to take office tomorrow in name. The party has collapsed. I wish to ask you, since you were an army volunteer, do you approve of Channel 4's Macquarie being brought to the headquarters of the Jatika Sevaka Sanghamaya?
ඔබතුමා හිටව ස්වේච්ඡා හමුදාවේ ඉලදහරියෙක් කියන ඉඳ මං අහනවා ඔවුන්ව ගෙන්නොප් එක අනුමත කරනවද?
තුමාගේ නිවසට එහෙම නැත්නම් සිරිකොතට මේ
He has taken this Channel 4 character to his home or Sirikota and has told him a story that jokers would say. Personally, I think that through bringing persons who have constantly and cunningly brought disrespect and disrepute to the country to Sirikota and telling them stories, they have given the biggest slap in the face possible to Mahamanya D.S. Senanayaka, who loved the UNP and the country, and to the UNP itself from within. From the side of the government, what we have to say is, you have become politically bankrupt to such an extent.
මට සලකන්න මම පෞද්ගලිකව මම හිතනවා රජය පැත්තෙන් අපිට උන්වහන්සේලාට කියන්න තියෙනවා. මේ තරමට දේශපාලන වශයෙන් බංකොලොත් වෙලා.
Meanwhile, a human rights festival commenced today at the auditorium of the Jatika Sevaka Sanghamaya, which is situated in close proximity to the United National Party headquarters, Sirikota.
A group that gathered in the vicinity of the location where the festival was being held demonstrated against it. Conspiracies cannot be brought to this country. This country cannot be betrayed. This is the country that was won for us by the war heroes. The heads of government meeting is being held here and a beautiful country has been created. The group voiced their protest as the opposition leader arrived at the location.